kind of like Coachella for our industry, or maybe Woodstock, depending on your taste in music. But every year, SPIE brings together colleagues, researchers, and other execs all together to Photonics West in San Francisco, the premier event for our industry. More than 5,000 technical presentations will be on hand, with 1,500 companies from around the world taking part. Photonics West gives these groups the chance to show off their latest creations, and it also provides a unique environment where these like-minded individuals can meet up to share ideas and visions for the future of photonics. Last year's Global Business Forum at Photonics West was standing room only, and it's got to be one of the only places you'll see 200 of the biggest execs in our industry packed into the same room. We spoke with SPIE Senior Director Dr. Andrew Brown on what we can expect from this year's events, along with what he thinks to be the hot topics of conversation. I'm sitting here with Dr. Andrew Brown, Senior Director with SPIE. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I'm really glad to be here. Thanks a lot.
All right. Well, we're looking towards Photonics West, and we're getting excited. And one of the big things I want to talk about, because it's just been building steam, especially since the pandemic was over and people are coming back, is the Global Business Forum.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, what can the guests expect to learn, or gain from their attendance at this event?
Yeah, thanks for asking. We're really excited about the Global Business Forum. We started this last year with the inaugural event. It was filling a gap where there was no place for executives to come and hear about the latest trends and information, market analysis, and also to network and connect with their peers and others in the industry. And we felt that was really missing. And so we started it last year. We put together a portfolio of amazing speakers from various analysts organizations, and companies, and the feedback was overwhelmingly positive from the attendees. What we heard was, hey, can we hear a little bit more from executives? Stick to the data. We really want to hear about data. More networking, and of course, can we have better taste in coffee? So all those kinds of really positive things. So attendees, they're going to have this great experience this year. I'm really excited. What I say about this is, I always wanted to build the meeting that I would want to go to, and I'm in a position. I was lucky enough to work with my team and put that together this year. So we're going to hear from a whole range of speakers, starting from high level, what's happening in the global economy, a deeper dive into some businesses. We'll be talking about the semiconductor market. We'll be talking our team, various analysts from top companies around the world. We'll be doing deeper dives into markets and trends. We'll be releasing the new SPIE runs our own industry market update every year, global market update. And typically, actually, we do it every 2 years, but we've done it on a 1-year basis this year. And I'm excited that we'll be releasing our new numbers at the event as well. So there's a ton that's going to be happening there. And in addition to all that, of course, last year we had over 200 industry executives, all in a room for a day, and you can just see the networking and the energy that's in that room. It's really exciting to be there, and I look forward to welcoming you and all your listeners there.
Yeah, definitely. Just looking at the preview on the website and some of the big names there, and it is a long, extensive list. We can't go through all of them, otherwise, we may never finish. But what are some of the big names, or maybe some of the new faces that our guests can expect to see?
Yeah. So new this year, I'm really excited. Mike Ryan, who's a divisional vice chairman of UBS, that's a real coup for us, I feel. He's going to come and talk about global economic stuff. And that was part of the feedback that we heard last year was, hey, set the stage with big picture for us. And so we're really excited to have Mike along. A couple other new additions. We've got John Lee, who's going to talk MKS, which will be fantastic to hear about his view on the market in the world. Tom Pleas, who's about strategic sourcing from ASML. He's a great speaker, and I'm looking forward to hearing him. And Sanjay Parthasari, the Chief Marketing Officer at Coherent, another great speaker, going to talk about all the kinds of things that Coherent are working on now, of course, after the big merger that happened. So those are some of the new speakers. In addition, we've got great people like Jennifer Cable from Thor Labs, Marissa Edmond from Edmond on the team this year. Brian Perot's coming back from Needham and Company. Just a fantastic array of speakers. I almost touched them all. Folks, if they're interested, you can go to the SPIE website at spie.org, search on the Global Business Forum, and they can see the whole list, the agenda. You can sign up and register there. It's going to be a fun day for sure.
Absolutely. And on the same website, you can see the highlights from last year to give you an idea of what's going on there, but definitely a lot to be excited about. And you touched on some of the topics before, and there's always, a new trend every year. Something's, such a rapidly evolving industry, right? So what do you think some of the hot topics we're going to be talking about this year?
Oh, I think AI is going to be in a lot of the talks, people talking about how we're going to leverage AI, what it's going to do for our industry. Supply chain, I think, will be a big thing that we'll be talking about. And I think Thomas Please will talk about that, particularly for the semiconductor industry. I think, one of the things that in my talk on our newest update on the market analysis, we'll be looking at, it's the crystal ball is trying to predict the future. We're going to see growth. What segments are going to experience growth? We bounced back pretty well from the pandemic. Is that going to continue? The thing about optics and photonics technologies is that they underpin so many end applications. And that's what we see. And that's what drives the photonics industry, especially what we call the core photonics industry. We're growing at twice the global GDP. All the companies that your magazine represents, the SPIE represents, and it's phenomenal. And that's because there are all these end uses that are in development and being developed: telecommunications, AI, quantum, biomedical, defense, you name it, right? So if there's one segment that goes down a little bit, you can bet there's another one that's going up someplace, right? And on average, we're beating the global GDP by a factor of two. So certainly exciting times. I think the other thing we might hear about is the labor issue. Talent in our industry. We can't keep growing at this pace without making sure that we've got enough people to do all the kinds of jobs that are out there. So we may hear some of that from some of the analysts and executives as well.
Yeah, definitely a big topic too. We've been talking about over here as well, just keeping the pipeline going. How do we, connect to even kids at a young age on STEM, and you're not going to understand photonics at 7, but be interested that hey, there's something a future in this, or do you want to help build the next laser, or work in the next system to develop these chips?
That's exactly right. We got to motivate younger generations. We got to get them interested really early. There's some really cool new books that are coming out focused on books for kids. There's an author out of Australia, Danuka Simpson, and Corey Boom. They're just doing great stuff writing these books targeted at kids to get them interested in science, and then hopefully there'll be a trickle down and we'll see some of those come into the optics and photonics industry.
Yeah, definitely something we could use, and along with all these great speakers, no shortage of knowledge to be handed out from these speeches. But what else can guests in attendance get at the forum? I know you mentioned networking is going to be such a big part of this event too.
Yeah, absolutely. Meeting people. That's a huge part of what we at SPIE do. We really believe in making connections between people. And so it's really fun for me. I look at a room filled with 200 people. Yeah, I know quite a lot of people in the industry, but I sure don't know them all. And I can help make connections, and the rest of the SPIE staff can help make connections. Those opportunistic conversations that happen over coffee that turn into some kind of business thing. There's all kinds of great opportunities that I think will come out of this. But then first of all, having fun. We got to have a little fun at one of these events. It'd be kind of dry if it was all about data. So I do try and inject a little energy into the day, and we'll do that again this year. But I think so. I think the other thing for me is hear from all these great executives and analysts, and we're gonna get a sense for the state of our industry, and it's strong. And it's strong globally, right? And I think that is great. And if there's one thing that I would like people to take away from the day is that hey, we're in a fantastic industry, and things are looking really good, and it's fun times in photonics. So I hope that's a takeaway that people will get.
Yeah, I'm sure. I can feel the energy and the excitement, and like I said, we're counting down days till Photonics West. And what are you expecting right now in terms of attendance for the forum?
Yeah, well, last year we got 220 people that actually blew our mind. We didn't expect to get that many. And so, of course, our target is the same this year. So for those that did attend last year, we've got a bigger room, we've got better coffee, we listen to you. My target is to get over 200 people back in the room again. There is a cap to the room. There's only a certain amount of people we can get in there. So sign up fast.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it's it's very clear to me the advantages of going to this and what we all stand to gain by coming here. But give me sort of your elevator pitch. So let's say someone's been working in the industry first time at Photonics West. What is your kind of elevator pitch to say you've got to go to this forum?
Yeah, well, I mean, Photonics West speaks for itself. I mean, it's just a legacy meeting, right? It is the must-attend meeting in the optics and photonics calendar. But beyond that, what we learned during COVID, when we couldn't have in-person meetings, is that it's really difficult to generate connections and build new relationships, right? Or even rekindle older relationships when you're doing this kind of thing. No offense, but this will be way better when we get to meet in person and we can have a coffee or a beer,
Yeah.
right? And we can talk about things, and the conversations just take on a whole new dimension. So attending these events, yeah, you'll learn a lot. I mean, you will get a phenomenal amount of information and data about the optics and photonics industry and markets. These speakers are entirely available to you. At the end of their talk, you can walk up to, the CEO of MKS or a top analyst at Needham or whoever it is, right? And have a conversation with them because they're accessible in this environment. It's really phenomenal. I personally love in-person meetings. It gives me a ton of energy, and I just really enjoy meeting people and helping people to connect and to further this amazing industry that we're in. So yeah, there's a lot of really valuable things to be gained in addition to just listening to the talks and garnering information.
And quite literally, no other opportunity are you going to have the chance to see all these people in person, to pick their brains, to meet them all in the same afternoon.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Yeah. And I really want to say, I mean, two things. One is to all the speakers. I mean, they're doing this out of the kindness of their heart. I mean, right? I mean, we've built relationships with these organizations, Yole and Tomatis, and, companies, small companies and big companies, right? And they're willing to come and get up on a stage and give us some of their time and talk about their business and their views of our industry. And I think that's just really great. And the other thing I want to note, you look on the website, and you'll see that we've got over a dozen sponsors this year, including Optimax, who's our lead sponsor. We can't do this without sponsorship, and I just really appreciate those companies getting up and standing behind this event. I think it speaks volumes to the fact that we're delivering something of value, and everybody sees that. And so, yeah, we hope to build upon it again this year and grow again in the future. So. Yeah,
that's fantastic. And spie.org to go online and to register. How long do people have to register for those people who like to wait last minute?
Registration will be open up right up to before Photonics West. And I should say that this is a separate registration from Photonics West, right? We have to pay for that coffee somehow.
Yes.
But registration will be open for it all the way up to Photonics West. It's really just a case of what the room capacity is. We've got plenty room right now, but I would encourage people to not wait too long. As I say, we were surprised last year. We literally sold every single seat last year. So, yeah,
that's great. All right, we'll hope for more of the same. Andrew, thank you so much for giving me the time and talking about the Global Business Forum.
That was a blast. It was great to talk to you. I look forward to meeting you at Photonics West. And if folks have got any questions about the Global Business Forum, they can reach out to me. My email is andrewb@spie.org. And happy to take any questions that folks might have. And certainly, please look me up at Photonics West. Look forward to seeing you there.